Hello, welcome back. Hey, this will be part two to the video I put out, and that is what the banner predictions are. Not so much predictions, what they're going to be, and what we're going to have a look at. Because as I said before, people will summon based on the influence of what they need in the banner, not just strictly around the new units. So previously, the other unit was defensive based. This is an offensive based unit, slightly higher start of turn stats, sure, but ultimately might be second to nature. That being said, the most part why people will summon on this is because you got like Gamma 2 returning probably once in a blue moon. These guys probably haven't returned around since the Worldwide Download Celebration Part 2. They're from the Cooler movie, right? He's 1 year old legitimately in August, September. He'll be 2 years old in that time, and we're coming up to a year, 2 years, and 3 years. Now, fear not, this guy does have an easy A, and he was the counterpart for him, right? So, yeah. Then we got Kid Goku from the GT Heroes. So, yeah, pretty stacked banner, pretty high caliber. A lot of people will be looking for like Gamma 2, absolutely. I prefer him to Gamma 1 because he's got a slightly better link set. Then again, Gamma 1 gives key in defense while he gives key in attack. But he does have like the innocence, so you can legitimately work him out on like the special pose categories that he's on. So again, and I think he's got a slightly better lead skill. Probably the cream of the crop in this, what people are after, is probably the Goku and Vegeta from the part 2 of the Worldwide Download Celebration. These two are truly unstoppable, right? They need to get a couple of super attacks under their belt. Pretty easy said for them, I think. And then, yeah, they're off to the races. Probably Gamma 2 then next. Then I'd probably say probably these guys because they still are legitimately great. They have damage reduction per rainbow orbs. And of course, they still have they still have that easy active skill, and of course they can still nullify the next attack when they transform on their 18 key, so pretty solid. And then Vegito, he has an easy A, and I hear it's pretty busted. So legitimately one of the weaker ones would be like UI Goku, Buhan, and this particular guy here. So we'll have a quick look through it, try not to make it too long. But so legitimately all great depending on what you need. They all have their counterparts on the other banner. So you got like Metal Cooler. No, sorry, no, tell a lie. LR SDR Cooler, Final Form Cooler from the first Cooler movie. That's him, obviously Gamma 1. Full Power Frieza will be his counterpart. The God's 7th Anniversary will be his counterpart. Int LR Vegeta will be his counterpart. And STR Gogeta, STR Vegito, and Int GT Hero Vegeta. So again, yeah. So looking at it for number one, we have Gamma. So I quite like this because it's movie heroes, androids, or special pose. Whereas Gamma 1 just has, I think it's movie heroes, and I don't know if it's like special pose or is it something like Defenders of Justice. I think it is. He has three, and technically it goes to five, right? So that's pretty great. So he has a slightly better leader skill. I like this. And again, his link set means that he works in, because he has like the innocence instead of something like Cold Judgment. I mean, sure, it's extra defense, but it just means that he works in just a little better when it comes to some of these teams, such as the Gotenks, which means when you're running like Defenders of Justice and Special Pose, is probably a thing. So what? I mean, he has defense 50%, two additional attacks, each of which have a chance to become a super attack for the first 4 turns instead of guard. So either way, 150% attack. Coming in at 55%, the guy has less start of turn stats because Gamma 1 has like 11,000. So a little less. And not only that, but Gamma 1, not only does he have 11,000, but he also gains guard. But this guy, he does have extra defense though, and of course he does stack for 30%, so it legitimately could work out even Stevens. That being said, who knows? So again, yeah, this is all pretty much the same. You get additional stats. I believe Gamma 1 only builds up like 10%. But so this guy, he does build up by 20%. But again, it's to try and compensate, right? Launches an additional attack that has a better chance of becoming a super attack, right? All allies 2 key 30% attack compared to 1 key 30% defense. But combined, you'll be getting 3 key 30% to stats. And this has even better because it's a 50% chance of countering a key blast, not a 70% against an unarmed. I still preferably want to use these guys. But don't get me wrong, the defensive Stonewaller Gamma 1 is still pretty great. So people who don't have these, I mean, I never summoned for them, and they've rarely ever returned. So again, people are going to get these. People are going to get one or two dupes. So congratulations if you actually pull one of these. Could be great. So again, androids, artificial life forms, defenders of justice, and I think special pose or superheroes is what you need against Cell Max with a massive buff. Legitimately great in the rest. I mean, Gamma 1 and Gamma 2 were recently needed for the burst rush, sorry. But, too little too late for if you don't have them then, but legitimately still great, right? So still good for depending who you need. Artificial life forms is pretty meh, but it's nice that he's one of these is I think it might be Gamma 1 that's a legitimate leader for it, so sure. But a nice buff to artificial life forms, androids, worthy rivals, special pose, and defenders of justice in particular, because those two are pretty weird and wonky, right? Okay, so moving on, we now have the counterpart to Final Form Cooler, right? So join forces, movie heroes with pure Saiyans. So that's fantastic, right? Join forces is a beast these days. But otherwise, you do movie heroes and pure Saiyans. Wow, how easy is it to do that? There's so many cool people on that. So 3 key, 150%, coming in at 55%, 10,500, which is pretty great. On top of which, they reduce damage by 20% flat out. That's not on attack or how much you get hit. That's just flat out, which makes it even better. They have additionals built in, and each additionals they have an additional damage reduction of 20% per super attack going. That's pretty great. So you launch an additional attack, 50% chance to become a super attack, and then you get the additional 20% damage reduction for 3 turns. So legitimately, you get 20%, you do a super attack, and then you're up to 40% for 3. And it's pretty mental. So ultimately, you could just say this unit has 40% damage reduction. It's absurd. Yeah. So what additional stats when performing an ultra super attack? So what you get 150%, you get 50%. Your 12 key raises it by 30%. Your 18 key also by 30%. Dude, how much do you want? And then you have the morale boost. The morale boost, I think you get a little less of this. Or no, is it a little less and a little more of this? Actually, let's find out. Let's see. So the morale boost is pretty weird. Oh yes, you get a little less key, but slightly more attack and defense. And then this goes up by 10%. So that's pretty great, right? So legitimately, probably the best unit on this banner outside of the new units. Also a better defensive buff, but my god, what a lead skill. Coming in, we have brilliant attack links, attack and key with the same lineage popping out a little bit of defense. We got like key, attack, key and attack, key and attack, attack, attack. Jesus. Powerful comeback, probably one of, if not the most strongest team currently in the game. Pure Saiyans is probably the most broken team legitimately because, it's always being buffed. Super Saiyans is up there, probably in the top 5. Movie heroes again. Join forces, yeah, all out struggle, pretty great. Full power and all out struggle, a great boost. So who do we rock in terms of the best people to run with? Okay, so Carnival Goku. So yeah, sure, he came out at the same time, so just as old. This unit's brilliant. What you rocking? Keen attack links. Jesus. Yeah, so fusions come out. This guy's going to get an easy A during this particular celebration. So yeah, keen attack, legendary power, fierce battle. You got to love it. Gogeta, Super Saiyan Goku. Dude, this unit is pretty undominable. But yeah, so moving on, we have the counterpart for Frieza. This guy will age a little bit better because he has slightly better start of turn defense, but he doesn't have the additional buff for the first 6 turns. That being said, he stacks on his 12, not his 18 key, so it means he's slightly better, right? So he does perform a crit against the Freezer, the other one for Goku. You do get a massive buff as the second or third attacker in a turn, and you do build up key when there is a extreme class enemy. So you need to build up around this. I wouldn't say he strictly struggles for key though. Anyway, I mean he is coming with what? So you got a Golden Warrior and Prepare for Battle, so you can legitimately get them. Very least, Prepare for Battle's very very easy, right? I mean look at the teams. Jesus Christ, Turtle School, Exploding Rage, Saviors, Legendary Existence. Reckless Awakening, Entrusted Will, Battle of Fate. These are all on the lower side, and he's a defensive stacking unit. If you're against any I mean, all these Super Battle Road stages, they will have villains in them. So, I mean, you are going to look pretty great. Pretty solid, I must admit. Coming in at 55% with just under 10,500. So not the most, but what I like about this guy is you get an additional super attack after you received an attack, and if should you built into additionals, you can triple stack. And imagine triple stacking is 12 key, so that'll be extra nice. That being said, super attacks are the one thing that can hurt him the most. He does build up pretty rad actually. After especially in like long events, he can be quite a potent force to be reckoned with. In short events, probably not so much, because as I say, you need it to stack. And well, you have great attack, but only against an extreme class enemy. So moving on, we now have the GT Duo better, well, rather the counterpart to the 7th anniversary units. Some call them better. Who's to say? So unlike the last ones, right? Okay, so it's another GT unit. Yeah, these guys will have much more start of turn defense as they come in with 12,000, maybe more, and these have a pitiful 9.5. So that's legitimately not great. But that being said, they do guard for the first turn, easy key mechanic, reasonable start of turn. They have a chance to crit, super effective against all types, additionals. They do pretty much the same sort of deal. It's not until they transform is where I still think they're better than the new units coming up, largely because like their super attacks can massively raise and greatly raise. And then of course you got like each was it yeah rainbow gives you damage reduction, so you can have was it 5 rainbow orbs, each one gives you 30, so what, 35% chance to create and 35% damage reduction. You can also nullify the next attacking one, so what is it, yeah, so I mean you can disable the next enemy action on your 18 key once a turn. Pretty easy to get, so highly useful. They do stack in their first form, right? In this form, so you could keep them in for as long as you dare. That being said, GT heroes in Kamehameha or Fuse fighters in Kamehameha, super easy. Check it out for his links and teams. Shadow Dragon Saga, yeah. Fuse Fighters, absolutely. Final Trump, Accelerated Battle, Time Limit, Giant 8 Power, Fusion could be really, really great. A lot of these, they need him. And of course, who does he work well with? Well, it's Fusion and it's GT, because well, it's Fusion and GT heroes. So you will find that some of the other some of the more recent units, the new 8th anniversary unit will fit in here somewhere, because you will have stuff like Legendary Power and you will have GT, so you can legitimately get something out of it. So they're not on here probably because they don't share like a key link or something, but yeah. So these are pretty great. Now moving on pretty quick, we have the 6th anniversary, the counterpart to Vegeta. Now, some people could say he's the best, got one of the best teams and the best kind of unit. Miraculous Awakening and Rep 7, pretty great. They work well with each other. This unit's main thing is he has a 70% chance to dodge flat out, so any events that can have it, great. He gets an additional nice buff after the first attack, so that's the most crucial bit. And of course, he has a 50% chance to crit on his super attack, and if that's an additional, it stacks to a guaranteed 100%. He does have a revive, for which we both see the 7th and 8th anniversary units just don't have. So that is also quite nice. So legitimately can be great. Only problem is, if this guy just doesn't get it, you are going to struggle. He does build up key, sure, so you're not going to struggle for key. But if he gets hit, yeah, no. I mean, unless you're doing like a Dokkan event or something like Infinite History, the guy's toast. But no, I mean, he can legitimately work out well. People have no items, various stages like Extreme Super Battle Road Tournament Power, just because these guys can dodge. In desperate need of an ECA, just to give him something. Maybe if he built up stats with each attack received as well, that would be great. Coming in at 55% with a pretty respectable 11,000, but make no mistake, that's not going to help this guy, period. In fact, there's a meme saying that this guy has a 70% chance to get hit, because when you need him to dodge the most, he doesn't. And he's also a heart in your mouth kind of character, because it's like, ooh, don't touch me, I'm gonna die, and then he dodges, and it's like, thank God, only for the next unit to die. That being said, he does work out pretty well. He has like Tournament of Power, Kamehameha, Godly Power, Shocking Speed. So he has nice key and attack links that cover a lot. Fantastic teams, what like TOP. Then you got Rep 7, fantastic overlink. Superheroes, good overlay, Turtle School, Accelerator, Battle. I mean, there's a lot of good teams on here. He could be huge for. Of course, his best partner is the other dude who has 70% to dodge. Quite a formidable duo, but only if they dodge. I mean, the teams that they share is ridiculous. The power that they can do is madness. You're getting key and various attack. I mean, what? That's 3 key. That's 5 key. Jesus. They're getting 5 key and they're getting like 50 odd percent attack. It's pretty ridiculous. Even this guy, right? He stacks, has his guaranteed dodge. Yeah, still pretty great, right? So, still legitimately great. Still work with the 7th anniversary units, right? Still work with, well, basically Realm of Gods. So, yeah, who does he work? Let's see, have a look. So, what you're talking like Realm of Gods, TOP/Rep 7. Then you got like Legendary Existence, what Turtle School, Accelerated Battle. Yeah, why not? And of course, Pure Saiyans. So, what he is still quite good. So moving on, we have Tech Vegito. He will have an easy A. So all these stats, while they seem pretty poor, they will be buffed massively, much like the Gogeta one. Now, when they transform, they build up stats, and it'll be interesting to see just how much stat they get per attack and just what the threshold is. Because when they are fully built up, they are these days not particularly the greatest, and it's difficult to build them up because most events that you long event stacking, usually you finish them before they get there. So yeah, it's a bit of a funny one. That being said, he is put a pin in him because he's yet to determine how well he is. So then we have Boo. So he is the counterpart to the worldwide download celebration for the 5th anniversary. So believe it or not, we're coming up to like 3 years. So could he awaken in this one? Maybe. So, I mean, still pretty solid. He has stats at the start of turn, meaning at like 55%, pretty decent, 11,500. He heals, on top of which he has links like Metamorphosis. And is there something else that heals? No, it's Metamorphosis. But I believe so. Yeah, so Metamorphosis with his heal and some of the boos that also have Metamorphosis, you could legitimately get like 30 to 40% of your health back, depending on what you do, right? So it's absolutely mental. Again, pretty easy to have that. He does stack on his 18 key, but again, he has the key mechanic to make it a bit better. Where he really comes alive, though, is this. The only downside, though, is in this particular form, he has big bad bosses, but in the other one, he doesn't. Now, if he had it in his normal form or his Gotenks form, he would be even better. I don't strictly understand why he doesn't have it, but great. I mean, he gets extra 10% HP, he gets even more stats. He seals the attacked enemy for 5 turns, which still is really useful. You go into difficult events, Extreme Super Battle Road, or Infinite History, or something, where you can apply that. And then, of course, it just gives you a little breather that, the chances of you dying is less. So that's great. Still raises attack and still raises attack. It's a shame it's not defense, sure. But yeah, coming in at 100%, coming in at pretty decent. But I imagine his easy A, if it does come around, would be quite truly terrifying. Great link set, but mainly made for Margin Boos. Has an easy A coming up as well, so that's great. Oh, and Janembers, because he has like Metamorphosis, Big Bad Bosses, and such like that, right? Let's have a look at these Boos. So yeah, he has an easy A. It's same unit, right? So yeah, easy A, looking pretty great. Transforming Boo, okay, fine. Super Boo, LR Super Boo. Imagine if he had his easy A. But again, running like Margin Power Absorption with LR Boo here, they are quite truly tremendous. He's brilliant. He heals. I don't care what people say about him. He is quite versatile. This guy is still legitimately great. He needs to build up, but legitimately great. And Janemba can be solid. These two can be solid. Cooler, he's on the other banner. Could legitimately pull him. But yeah, and then of course the last one that we have is GT Kid Goku, right? Super Saiyan Goku from the GT Heroes. Also great for Goku family, pretty respectable, coming in 150%. Now, where this guy fails to the Vegeta is that he gets defense per GT Heroes on the turn, whereas Vegeta only gets attack. So that's why he's useful outside of GT Heroes, because he's not actually losing anything, right? And as well, this guy, whereas Vegeta gets defense per key sphere per on the super attack, this guy gets attack, but does have more start of turn defense, right? So that's fine. So you will find this guy hitting way high, well, having higher start of turn, but yeah. So again, greatly raises attack and raises defense, while Vegeta's greatly raising defense, raise attack. So again, very offensive, and his only defensive viability is based around this. That being said, these days he gets knocked off his peg quite easily, probably again because his super attack effect is swapped around. That being said, he is far superior because of his attack power on the GT Heroes. So that's great. It's not strictly the worst on a Goku family, because again, you got the LR Super Saiyan 4s, right? You got this Super Saiyan 4, he's had his EZA, sure, as well. So you're not totally restricted, but remember it's on the team attacking in the same turn. So you're gonna have to partner him up with somebody, and to have it as a floater as well. Well, this guy does stack, so yeah, fine as a floater in some event, legitimately could make it. But you're really lacking in terms of GT Heroes here, in terms of what you can use. There is also Pans, don't forget, there's 2 STR Pans. Both of them are pretty solid, respectively, for short-term events. But again, I mean, they're not terrible. This guy's EZA gives you more of an option. Yeah, so we'll be looking at like Turtle School, GT Hero, Giant Ape, Accelerated, pretty weak on the teams. You got, yeah, okay, so Majin Buu, Battle of Fate Goku, he is tremendous. Carnival Goku, last year's Worldwide Download Celebration Goku, these are still pretty great. I'd imagine the Tech LR's on here as well. This guy, oh, yeah, no, he's the, oh, right, so he's the same day Goku, but transformed, right. We got to transform with him. Namek Goku, EZA Gohan. So, okay, legitimately can make some good teams. But again, running this guy, you're kind of limited to running these 3 as well. And if you don't have these 3, I mean, you probably got this guy, right? And you probably have a copy of this guy. This guy, maybe not so much. But if you have them, great, more usable. But yeah, that being said, that's going to be it for this banner. So again, I'm still going to say that most of what you'll summon on is based around who you're going to need. Now, I personally don't have Gamma 2. I don't have these guys. But everything else I've next to Rainbow, right? So if I got one of these 2, and of course the new unit's huge, right? That's going to be incredible. I know exactly what they can do. I've used them. I've done videos on all of them. Well, both of these 2. Well, yeah, for most of these. So, yeah. So pretty hype. Of course, these 2 are probably the most hype, with like future EZAs inbound. So that's going to be it. So that's yeah. You let me know what you're going to summon on if you must. But thank you very much for watching this video. If you liked it, you liked it. If you didn't, sucks to be you. But thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time.